Children have to go back to the roots. I'm telling you now, the truth. Telling you, yeah, the truth, the truth. You have to go back to the roots, the roots. Go to the roots, to the roots. Yeah, man, you know, this is Benjamin out of the Smiling Coast, West Africa, Gambia, representing for the one and only Abu, the big man you don't know. The Soninke warrior, the man that brings the truth. Soninke warrior, the sign of enlightenment. The Soninke warrior, the righteous and the true African. Abu, reveal the truth to them, you know. No matter how them try run from it, because none of them can hide from the truth, yeah. Yes, we have to dig back the roots, yeah. Fire!
Thank you for joining me, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Afridamus Report. If you're new here, make sure you are subscribed, like, and share this video. So today is Freestyle Monday, just like the title says. And the subtitle, which this discussion is going to be centered around, I asked a question. I would say it's more like a statement. And this statement is from what I've observed in real life and what I see right here on YouTube, which is, I say most people do not respect Africans as a whole. I know some of you might come here and say, "Oh, I mean, not many people respect me, blah blah blah." But now, if people truly respect Africans, ask yourself, why do people generally look at Africans in with the lens of we just we're here to save them, they are helpless, incompetent, or rather clueless? And you think this is just in real physical life, right? No, it's even online, right here on YouTube. Because I've been on several panels, by the way, which is you know either Black American panel online or African panels. And these panels, the way the discussion goes, they would start out pretending to be sincere, pretending to be speaking, for quote unquote Africans, as if Africa is a country. And then you get your foolish, delusional Africans who would come on those panels, co-sign on everything this individual is saying, and they base all this in the name of blackness, because there is this delusional thing where they truly think, oh yeah, we're connected to these people. And to be quite honest, like this is based in like individual countries where people come from. But earlier I was at Mr. Uganda, I was on Mr. Uganda's channel. Shout out to Mr. Uganda. He's got a lot of patience, hosting all those people there. Um, hey, Matifi, welcome in the house and welcome to everyone. So I went on this panel because they had a couple of Black Americans on there. So these people on the panel, as usual, any Joe Blow off the street, anyone, can just go on these panels as African American. I don't know why anyone would call themselves African American if you're born in America, but hey, your choice. It's a free country. You can refer to yourself as whatever. You can hyphenate, prefix your name, your race. Is up to you. But I'm sitting there, I'm listening. This woman, by the way, she knows the ins and outs of the American government, the economy, how things run, just the usual, because, every black person on YouTube, black American majority, they're all experts, they're either experts in African history, tribal stuff. And, I don't blame them, because if I come to a group of people and they themselves know, hey, what this guy's talking about, this bunch of horse shit. He doesn't know what he's talking about, right? But yet, me, myself, I don't like. I don't know what I'm talking about. But these people are swallowing what I'm saying. Of course, I'm gonna think I know. But do you think in real life, physical life, what I'm telling you, me living in America for a long time, um, I don't see these people who would come to you like a black person, you know, telling you how much they know about Africa. And the only way, I notice on the panel, the only way the Africans are allowed to speak without being interrupted is if they pander to the black Americans. They have to, lower themselves for whatever reason. They have to say things like, oh, yeah, you guys are our saviors. You guys should come. It's in our interest. So, as if they are not even listening to what these people are saying to you. Think about, even, let me give you an example, like Gambia. There's a woman there, Juliet, the woman that have that black sick thing, black sit. Go check out her videos, right? When she initially had a YouTube channel, go listen to her story. Okay, go and listen to the Bag family story. Hey, welcome, St. James. Go listen to, several of these YouTubers when they first arrive in Africa in making their video. Listen to what their story is. They themselves, their mouth, coming out of their mouth, they said they are running away from um from America, from racism. Hey, Matifi, oh, thanks for asking about what happened to the last video this morning. Thanks for reminding me. In fact, I received an email from YouTube about the video that I did earlier. Even though Lift Every Voice is a troll, but he was right on the money on this one. He said, Afridamus, you guys know the name. He calls me Afridumbass. You know, his name is a clever way of calling me, but I think he's doing it to irritate me. I just find it funny. But yeah, YouTube sent me an email about the video that I did this morning, warning me. So they said they're gonna put it back up. So maybe you gotta give it, some time. But on Mr. Uganda's channel, like I said, there were, it was dominated by Black Americans, even though the topic today was centered around strictly African, talking points. They want to find out why people feel like when people go to Africa, especially they go to Africa, they feel like they have to have this savior complex to save Africans. So you would think, right, somebody like me who is an African, would be welcomed, would be allowed to speak on this topic, not only on the African aspect of it, but the United States, because I lead, I have experience from both angles. But no, these people, they dominated that quote unquote African panel, which is, whatever. That's what goes on over there. But then they turned it. I mean, these Black Americans who, like, Africans were probably looking up to as their saviors, because you guys have heard some of these people on the internet, some of the African, quote unquote, Pan Africanists. It makes me laugh when I hear some Africans talking about they are Pan Africanists. You know, uh, it makes me laugh because it's so funny. What are you Pan Africanists about? What do you mean I'm Pan Africanist? Like, you're in America, England, whatever. Just go do what you're there to do. Take care of you and, whoever is close to you. If you can do business with other people, you go right ahead and do that. Plain and simple. But no, we have Black Americans who, in real life here, I've never run into any of them that have a clue about Africa. But online now, we have professional African tribal historians. We have all of them are business savvy. They have intellectual properties. They have money. They want to buy land. They want to invest. They want to build schools. They want to build the African roads, the bridges, you name it. They are ready to do it. But one problem, they just want to come on the internet, like they could just straight go there and do this, right? In fact, there's a guy that calls himself Pan-Africanism Strikes Back. Brandon. The way Brandon stood out to me was I was cruising through YouTube and they recommended a video to me. No, he was on Search Uhuro's video. And I saw this guy sitting there talking about Kenya, and I was really fascinated by this. I was like, oh, this is going to be good. So, this Black guy, I'm looking at a Black American guy speaking boldly, arrogantly. He wants to go to Kenya and take over the electrical running supply system in Kenya. I was like, okay. In Kenya, All right, all right. And this guy just kept going on and on and on. I was like, nah, this cannot be real. Like, this is comedy. This is a comedy skit, right? But it wasn't until I saw a Nigerian guy, eventually a Nigerian guy who calls himself to Niger, who, like, he's African. I would think he would know better. Like, okay, look, I get it. It's cool, whatever, to come on the internet. You're saying these things. That's, let this guy say this. But you, as an African, you should know better, right? So he co-signs it. He co-signs on what this guy was saying, a bunch of dream. He just went along with it. I said, okay, that's just a one-off. Maybe there are some Africans who they truly, truly, you know, are delusional, or maybe they believe in this. I don't know. I said, okay, I'm not from Nigeria. I don't know. And I don't know any other Nigerian in real life that sounds like this guy or shares his same ideology. But I just like whatever. But I kept seeing time and time again different Africans from different countries, Liberia, even some of them from my own country, Gambia. I see these people sitting on these panels, co signing like they are literally scared to speak. Even the Black people's channel they are on, they know that these people, what they are saying, they themselves know that, it doesn't make sense. The regular Black people that have sense here, they don't watch people like that. I can exactly. Bijou Noir, the Wakandan queen. If you notice, it's not your regular average black American even that watches her. So it is these Africans that come and gather around there, and they somehow just, allow these people to run them over on Mr. Uganda's channel. Like I said, the topic was about Africa. They allow some girl who came there, calls himself something about lineage, because it's always got to be about identity. Some sort of identity crisis issue has to be, dealt with as usual. So the girl started talking about, like she took us on a on a big ride. Apparently she's from Africa. In you know, her other half is from here. But long story short, it's just the usual, stories where you're talking to the person. One minute they have African blood, another minute, they are Indian, Irish. Like they just take you on these roller coasters. Or they're indigenous American. It's confusion. It's confusion, as you know. They confuse you with these things. Let's see. St. James, let's see what St. James said here. Afridamus, we need to create an anti-bullying cause for the youngsters. Yes, this is what this is. This is exactly what this is. So these people, they come on this panel, they started talking about their own quote unquote trauma. And black people, I don't know, if you guys realize this. Like everyone is sitting back watching you. You come on there. You act like you're the only person that has any problems. And when people challenge you, the reason why people are challenging you, you are coming to people, talking to them. All the things you're calling your trauma, they've never happened to you as a person. You would tell us that this has happened to your ancestors, or you tell us a story about what happened to another black person. And so people are supposed to just go along. So they come there, they bait and switch the Africans. So they say these things and people are confused. They're like, okay, hold on, what's going on here? What's going on? And few Africans have seen. I've come up there and challenged these talking points to show them, hey, this is full of shit. People are not trying to hear this stuff. Okay? Like we've heard this over and over again. Like you're talking to me. If you want to talk to me, about what happened to you, that's fine. But like in every situation, things are just happening to you. Other people are the evil people. I'm just telling you what I've observed on these panels. So while Africans are having discussion to try to find out why Africans have, this sort of inferior mindset, why do people have the feeling that they always have to save Africans? So here comes the Americans who sometimes they say they are here to save Africans. Another time they are here to tell us their trauma. So they came, they took the entire vibe of the conversation down. They went on this tangent about what happened to them 600 years ago. I asked this woman, I said, ma'am, okay, you just said, like this woman literally talked about, she was born in Africa. She said she came to America 3 years. So just because her father, she's, from this American descendant of slavery. So she said through that, it means she needs to be compensated because it means she suffered somehow. This is what this woman was saying on this panel. And none of the Africans challenged it. Even though they knew it didn't make sense, they didn't challenge it. In fact, one of the African was going so low, was even saying, "Oh no, we need this, we need them to come and help us." I'm like thinking, do you not hear what this woman is saying? This woman just told you how much of a victim she is. She is just told you, like she's literally told you she's never won any battle. Anyone she's come in contact with, they are always seen as superior over them. And this is the conversations we hear. And none of these Africans are, for some reason have the audacity to point this out, because this is not healthy for the young Africans that they are bringing this to. But to top it off, when an African panelist, Africans start talking about the difficulties, of what Africans face, they don't want to hear it. When even it was so bad, Kwesi, um, a Ghanaian British guy, came on. He was talking about his experience, the African experience in England between them and Jamaicans. He pointed some of you know, the violence they emit on Africans, talked about the bullying that African children face, and I waited, right? And a black American that was on the panel literally, literally felt the need to jump and try to, flip it and made it all about them, all about Black America. Oh, over here in America, we don't see that. So, but minutes earlier, a few minutes earlier, this same man was very upset at me for speaking the truth, by the way, the truth, not my truth, the truth, because only the truth can set you free. So all these mincing the words, pretending, talking about I got my chakra, my truth, all horse shit. I don't buy into that. Like I'm not here to try to please you. I'm not here to sell you empty stories. We're here to have real conversation, because you're the one talking about, oh, let's unite. And Africans don't cannot ask what we are uniting on. It's just like when people say, example, they would say they hate their own father, right? Like in America, that's a normal thing. A lot of kids, they hate their fathers. Their fathers are emasculated. So this is across the board, not only on the black side. It's like an American cultural thing. But you would see they say they hate their fathers, especially the females. But then they're like, oh, I love Jesus and I love God. And I look at them, I always say, it's a big lie. How can you claim you love God and and Jesus, whom you've never seen, but yet your father that you are seeing, you hate him? It doesn't make sense. So the same thing, the same analogy. You have black people leaving America saying, oh, we're going to Africa to save Africans. But yet the Africans that live here, that's been living here with them for so long, have never had much to do with them as a group, because Africans receive so much hate and disrespect from them. And Africans take it. They just smile, because these people bring so much loudness and aggression on the panels. That doesn't mean that you are right. And what makes it so hard is because they say don't generalize. But we are yet to see a black person get up in those panels and say, look, people, have self-awareness. Do not go everywhere you go. You guys are making us look bad. talking about this victimhood thing. No, they don't say that. But if you say it, in fact, all of them would gang up on you. Look, today, even Go Black to Africa came in that chat room. He wrote the stupidest analogy. He's like, oh, if your son is killed by police, wouldn't you want to be paid? This is what they put. They put money above everything. Everything. This is what he said to me. So, what does that have to do with me asking this woman a genuine question? She brought up slavery, by the way. I asked her, was she ever a slave? Obviously not. She said this regardless, but the Africans were pandering to them. And I gotta give the, like, hey, Mr. Uganda, if you're gonna run a channel, I mean, I like your channel, you run a show, but you have to be willing to question people. Like, you can't just allow people to come there, spewing BS, because you're supposed to be an information house, because they want Black Africans to learn, right? Learn about who they are. So you have to ask people tough questions. You let them know, look, if you're traumatized, go see a therapist. Here we are here to have, real, information. Yeah. Yeah, Go Black came. He was all up in his feelings, talking about, oh, what if your kid get killed? What's that got to do with slavery? Okay, what if my kid get killed? What about that? What? So mind, these are the type of people they listen to, by the way. Like, you see this guy here, he really thinks he's here to agitate me, but he's just entertaining to all of us. Look at him. He said, like I said, you are Freedom's fans. He's talking about himself. He's my number one fan, by the way. Don't let him fool you. He's my number one fan. Fans are some of the dumbest bozos around, giving that goofy idiot a pass for hating on his own people. Yeah. Yeah, no hate over here, as you guys know. But you look at it, African people, the reason why most people look at us as if, like in a group. When I say us, I'm talking as a group. That's why I say individually, you can stand your own ground with people, which I always do. My thing is, I'm not out like a lot of these Black people that come on the panel. They do disrespectful things. They scream, they yell, and then they turn around and say, you all Africans need to respect us because it's because of us you guys came here. Oh, okay. What about the Africans that are in Russia? Did you guys help them too to get there? What about the Africans that are in Iceland? Did you help them get there? No, you did not. Okay? I mean, we appreciate that, you're willing to to give that to yourself. And if that's something you did for us, we appreciate it wholeheartedly. We appreciate it. But when I did my digging, that's not what I found. That's not what I found. And Africans, think about it. The people that are saying they're coming to save you, they are turning around telling you how broken they are, how much of a victim they are. How come you never question them? Okay, how are you going to save us when you can't even save yourself? It's a genuine question. Why aren't you guys asking these questions? But all of them are on these panels acting all passive aggressive. And everyone is like, oh, the Africans are so cool. Really? Are Africans cool? Why don't you go meet Africans on their own? In fact, a day prior to that, I heard some of those same Africans, they had so much smoke for me. They were talking bad about me. But it's funny. It's funny that they have so much to say about me on another channel when they could come here and have that discussion. I'm open 24/7. I'm ready to have discussion. But they say, oh, Afridamus think he is so smart. he is intelligent, because that's their self-consciousness. When did I ever come here and say, I'm smarter than everybody? I'm not smart. I'm just observant. I would think you guys are seeing the same thing too. I just happen to be the one that have no problem saying it. But you guys see it too. Afridamus, Africa, Afridamus, Africans do better than Black Americans in their own country. This is true. This is true. And this is Africa Reacts. The people that were on the panel, by the way, I noticed they are not Africans in America, by the way. I want to make that clear. I noticed that they are not Africans in America. Because I'll be shocked if an African that lives here knows better. I mean, every now and again, you have some who have no sense. Yes, Josie, Josie had common sense. Josie understood that these people are not making any sense. Look, I'm just telling you straight up, like the story I was saying, telling you guys over there. When people travel to different countries around the world, this is nothing new. We have been doing this. We had this on lockdown, for centuries. We go to places, we don't know many people there. We figure it out. We came to America, we figure it out. Okay? Plain and simple. These same people that are saying, oh, we're here to save you. Hey, ask them what their track record is with the Africans that live here. Their African neighbors, the Africans they know. Or you ask Africans that live in America for them to give an honest account. I'm not talking about somebody trying to cut them off as usual. This is why I have my own microphone. You can't cut me off here because I'm in charge of it. I'm not talking about the ones that are pandering, the ones that are just saying, oh, let's go along and get along. I see people on the panels who they themselves, they don't care about their fellow countrymen themselves. But they're going to, do the Black Power and unite with Black Americans. The same people that are telling you, they're telling you that they are refugees when they come to Africa. The ones we've heard so far said they are running from, white supremacy, racism, and all the isms in America. This is why they're coming to Africa. If an African leaves their African country because of the brutal dictators or the rebels there, what are they called? People, what are they called? They're called refugees. The Bad family in the Gambia, the account they gave, that makes them a refugee. It makes them refugees because they said they're escaping the hustle and bustle, the ups and downs of the concrete jungle in America. This is the story they told. Because you Africans that about asylum, they had to apply asylum through YouTube. Because what is an asylum? You go, Africans, you know about this. You go there, you announce yourself that you're in the country. You write a story, what your story is, which rebel group you're running away from this time around. They assess you and everything works. Don't let them fool you just because they're coming from the West in America. They're telling you a refugee story. They said they're running away. And eventually a refugee, when they run away, they go to Europe or America. Eventually you pick your weight up. This is why I don't mind that go Black to Africa. People are saying he made money in Africa. Hey, I'm happy for him. That's a good thing. If you want to go to Africa, hey, Africa is there. You go to Africa, you do what you do. But let's not play these games. Don't come out here talking about, Oh, you're all African sitting over there in America. You ain't doing nothing for your people. Oh, so you, this whole time I've been in America, you just started noticing that I'm here when you started going to Africa? Oh, we're doing stuff for your family. Why don't you show me your video? You doing stuff for my family. Oh, these people are out here. You got homeless kids in the market. You got homeless kids in America. I guess you didn't see those homeless, right? But they have these silly conversations with Africans who don't live here. They tell them about business. Oh, we're going to do business in Africa. But you can't even do business in America. America, that's where the action is. Do you know how easy it is to do business in America? If you're willing, everything is in place. They make it so easy for you. This is why people come to America. It will be easy if you're not looking to be handed things. If you're willing to go get it yourself, you will get it. Hey, if you can't get it, hey, I'm sorry, but that's not what everyone's experience has been. But if you say that, you get mad. Like that crazy ADOS lady. She got upset. She got upset at an quote unquote African immigrant who said they couldn't achieve the life they have if it wasn't for America. She's like, but in the meantime, we're suffering. So you're suffering. That means I should suffer too. Is this what you're telling me? So these people truly believe in skin color. They really believe that just because they suffer, we gotta suffer too. Whatever the idea of suffering is. Let's see what this guy. Stop speaking in generalities. Black America have no desire to come and save Africa. I want to come and get what I come from. I don't understand. So if we don't, when you speak of white people, when you guys point fingers at white people and call all white people racist, is that so? That generality is not a big deal. Oh yeah, I'll drop the link. You can come talk about it. Hey, brother Rasmo is welcome in the house. Yeah, I'll drop the link. There's no problem with that. Um, you guys speak in generalities. When you're broadcasting, it's called a broadcast for a reason. Okay? It's for a reason. When you speak, the people that don't do this, they would just kick back and watch. Just like I see people, they talk, they would generalize it and say Africans. And if what they are saying is true, is something that I have seen, hey, I don't take offense to it. If I know like it's true, yeah, I just like, yeah. Oh, just kick back. Because I believe in character. I don't believe in this quote unquote, oh, we all the same skin color, blah, blah, blah. But when you're talking about Africans, you have no problem, talking down on Africans. And I blame the Africans for accepting that. But you see, when you are an African, when you come on, they have so much smoke for you. Let me add Mr. Johanna or Mrs. Johanna on the stream. Johanna, can you hear me?
I hear you well, my brother.
All right, welcome on the Afridamus show.
No problem, my man.
Where are you calling from?
I'm in Atlanta right now.
Atlanta. Okay. So you said don't speak in generalities,
Yeah, what I was
right?
saying was, let me say it like this to you. I hear you saying, and again, I'm coming in a little late on your conversation, but I hear you say blacks can't take care of their homes in America. Blacks come into Africa to try to save Africa. But my thing is this: I take care of my home in America. I run my own business in America. And I have no desire to come and save Africa. My only desire is to come and do what everybody else do.
Okay,
Make money.
so okay, cool. So you notice when somebody speaks in generality, does that mean all?
You know what? To the person who hears it, it means all, yeah. Because you're saying
Okay.
black, you're saying all black, you're saying blacks.
So but anti-black,
What's that now?
I'm black, right?
I guess.
Okay. So if I say when someone says there's a crack epidemic in
Mm-hmm.
the black community, for
Yep.
instance,
Yep.
right?
Yep. 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 Yep.
Does does that mean every black person is on crack
No.
or dabbles in
No.
crack?
No. But you know what it does, though. You come on, my man. Let's not play with
No,
words
no,
here.
no,
What
no.
it does?
Well, what I'm saying is
It's
when
your show.
somebody when someone says that, does that mean every black person?
But listen to me. You know it does not mean that. You know that.
Okay,
But
so
but but
how
let me
come
finish.
so what I'm saying here, do you have a savior's complex?
But let me finish, okay?
Yeah, no,
But
go
let me
ahead. You
answer
can
your
answer this and then you can finish that.
okay.
Do you
No,
have a
I don't.
savior's complex? There's a reason why I'm asking
I
this.
have a savior complex for everything that I donated as a seed to my children. Yeah. It's the only complex I have savior to.
Okay, you see what you're doing here? You know that we are not here to talk about your children.
But
You
you
know,
just asked
but
me a
we have to
question.
have what I'm saying. We have to
That's the
have
question.
okay. We have to have a honest
No, I
conversation
don't have a
because
savior complex. No, I don't have a savior complex.
okay. So if you don't have a savior's complex, and if I'm sure you've heard people talking about how they are going to Africa, they are going to save people there.
I have
So so what I'm saying here is not too far-fetched, right?
a portion of it is not too far fetched.
What portion is far-fetched
There
here?
are some who say that, but I would say this, there are some who say that, but I'm telling you, the majority of people are not saying that. So I think you're basing it off a bunch of YouTubers when you have an overwhelming majority of blacks, Americans who go to Africa and never ever put it on YouTube or any
But
social media.
do you know, do you realize that I live in America too, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I am not speaking of just YouTube. Maybe you missed the beginning of the show. I'm not only talking about YouTube, I'm talking about even in real life.
Well, let me say this to you. I get you. I don't know anybody in my little circle here in Atlanta that has that complex that say
Yeah,
I'm gonna save Africa. Nobody.
but the thing is, right? If you have 12 friends, you're more likely you are like your 12 friends. You see what I'm saying? That's more than likely.
So wait a
But
minute then. If you're
wait,
saying that,
yeah. So let me finish. So if I'm talking about a larger sample size, right?
who?
I'm talking about a larger sample size, but you are saying you are not part of this sample
No,
size. And
not at all.
okay, and I never said you are part of this, right? But now you are flipping it, owning it,
No.
you're getting triggered by it. You see what I'm saying? Because, like I said, if somebody's there talking about, let's say, Africans, if they say, African countries are poor. If the country where I come from is poor, I would, I'll be like, oh, yeah, sure. The person is right. I will not say, you know, not everybody in the country is poor. I know that. Like if you say Nigeria is poor, right? If you call Nigeria a poor country, it doesn't necessarily mean everybody in Nigeria is poor.
Well, when you say Nigeria is a poor country, it depends on who you're talking to. If you're talking to a
Okay,
majority
now
of
if you're
people and you're
talking, no,
saying
if
that,
you're
yes,
talking, okay,
yes.
so
What I'm saying is this right here. People may
so
interpret what
so
you're saying as a whole. What I'm trying to say, and you know, if you live in America, you know that on the news media they will say, they will use a, let's just say a not particularly nice neighborhood, and they will use that and just put it all over the news as if that's entire Black America,
but
knowing that that's not. But
no,
let me give you
that's
one
not.
example. Let me
See,
finish this and
see,
I'll let you go,
wait.
bro.
If I see Chicago, right?
No, no, no. Let me give you this
I'm
one.
giving you an example. They
Okay.
show I watch TV.
Okay.
For instance, I see shooting. They say Chicago, right? Do you think I'm going to all of a sudden say, if they say this is in Southside Chicago, I'm not going to say to myself, the black people in Joliet, Chicago, Illinois, which is close, I'm not all of a sudden going to say that neighborhood also is that way. It's like all the
That's
neighborhoods.
you. That's
I'm
you,
not
my
going.
brother.
No, 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 no.
That's you.
Come on now.
So let
Come
me
on
say
now.
this. Let me say this to
Look.
you. So let me give you one example, then I'll let you go, bro. Okay, let's use the former president for an example, who talked about the shithole country of Africa, and then also said that John Lewis needed to stop worrying about him and go home and take care of his basically shithole district. At that moment, bro, I live in John Lewis district. Everybody in the freaking district started sending out photos of their neighborhoods and say, "Does this look like a shithole?" Because, bro, you put that in a group, but guy, John Lewis district may have some bad areas, but the majority of his areas are not bad. But that statement was blanketed for the entire world to say his whole district is basically a slum when it's
Yeah,
really
well,
not.
in truth, it's just your ego speaking. But no,
You crazy, man.
his district is actually a shithole, and most of African
What?
countries are
Wait,
shitholes. He's
wait,
not
wait, wait, wait.
lying.
His
He didn't
district is
lie.
not, bro. His
He did
district.
not lie.
Have you ever
It's a
seen John?
fact.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
No,
You're
it's a
lying. You're
fact.
lying. You're sick now. You're lying. You live? Do you live in this district? Do you live in this district?
I don't
Have you
have
ever
to live
have
there
you ever
to
been in this
look.
district?
Look, you're flipping this
Have
around.
you
The
ever
thing
been in
we're
this district,
talking about
bro?
broadcasting, right?
That's the same thing. You see, because you're
Okay.
making
All do
generalities,
you believe that? Do you believe that all um is America a racist country?
bro. I don't know. I don't pay that no
Oh
attention.
no, you know. Oh,
I don't
you
pay that no
know.
attention. I don't
Oh
pay that no
no.
attention.
Oh no, you know.
I
Is
don't pay that no
America
attention.
a racist country?
It depends on the person.
Ah,
That's
okay.
individuals. That's
Uh,
individuals.
really?
Everybody. Hey, let me tell you why. Let me tell you why I know
It's
this.
no, no, no.
Because I've
Wait,
had
wait.
several
You are. It's
Caucasians
hard for me to
help me.
believe that you that just pull,
Bro,
a
stop.
racist propaganda talking point.
Yeah,
You just pulled it out of the hat,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
But you don't know whether America is racist or not.
It depends on the person. Everybody in America is not racist. So
Uh,
no, I can't say America is racist because everybody in America is not racist.
okay. All right. I believe you. I believe you believe what you're saying. But broadcasting, just like when people say Africa, Africa is not a country, it's a continent.
I know
But
that.
but 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 you guys say Africa. We
Yeah,
don't trip over that. You see what I'm saying?
I
We,
get you.
we just know you're speaking of a landmass.
Makes
When
sense.
you say, for instance, like you
No,
call a country, say is poor, that doesn't mean every individual in that country is poor. I get that,
no. Let me
but they are
explain this to you.
talking when we're speaking in generality.
Let me say this to
All
you. You're right.
these
You're right,
people,
bro.
majority of them have the same talking points. I know people, literally, I know black people that are in Africa that, people don't even hear about them here on YouTube. They've been there a while,
Exactly.
like zero problem. And I can assure you, they watch my video and they support what I say because they see it. They see it because they know that I'm not against black people. I'm just pointing out what I'm seeing. I'm pointing out
Ah.
what I'm seeing, and I'm not the only one that said this. There was an entire panel of, African people sharing their experience like this, just like you're giggling and laughing. That's how the blacks on there were doing.
Yeah, because you're making statements that are just totally untrue.
Oh, so but when you guys make statements about white people and other
Bro,
people,
stop
that
saying
is the
you guys.
that is the
Stop saying
no.
you guys, because you ain't never heard me make a statement about the black or white person, bro. I just
Well,
told you
well,
how
well.
more white people are not
Okay,
racist.
are
You
you?
can say you
What I'm saying?
guys. How the hell? I'm not you guys.
Are you black?
I'm not a you guy. I'm
But
American.
are you
I'm
black?
American.
Oh Lord, he don't win American on me, yo.
What are you?
Oh, me? Oh,
Yeah.
I am an African American.
I'm American. Period.
Yes,
I,
if
I
you
I have
but
no
are you
root, brother.
black? Are you black?
I have no freaking roots in Africa. My roots are here in America, bro.
See. You know what, Johanna? Let me tell you something. You and I can have honest conversation, right? If from where you're coming right now, I agree with you. You're of African descent, but your roots is here in America.
Yeah.
I totally agree with you. It is totally okay to be an American, to love America. It is, if you want to travel, go elsewhere, you could do that, but don't disguise it as something that it isn't. So you and I both know, right? America is a rich country, has lots of opportunity. Would you agree to that?
Agree.
There is lots of people that they would do whatever it takes to come to America.
I don't know
True?
why. I don't know why, but yeah.
For opportunities.
Well, there's opportunities everywhere. Just
Yeah, but it's just more abundant here.
well, it depends on how you look at it. I mean,
Uh,
somebody can leave here and go to your country and see opportunity that you didn't see. So that's just kind of depending on how you see look at it.
I can assure you, uh, uh, look, it's fine. Um,
So you're saying there's no opportunity from where you're from?
no, see, again, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying where the opportunity is more abundant and it's easier and it's you're rewarded more.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
that's
Okay.
that's America,
Okay.
right? This is why you're not seeing anybody crossing the Sahara Desert going into the other parts of Africa. It's always the other way around. There's a reason for that. So I just want people, for us to have common sense conversation, like Africans to understand, like, yes, we are coming from the bigger ghetto. So there's nothing to be ashamed about. There's nothing you shouldn't devalue yourself. It is what it is. But you know what? In life, it's about growth. You're a little boy, you eventually grow to become a man. If you have to go do that in another land, you're free to go do that. You shouldn't bow down to anyone. But when these people are coming on these panels trying to muscle the young Africans, they've been muscling these young Africans from the time they were kids, bullying them in school. And now they're adults. They can't even say this on YouTube without people who are not even in that same country with them, you know, talking about, no, this didn't happen. But this is coming from a group of people who waste no time telling the whole world about, oh, this happened to me 500 years ago, but it didn't happen to you. It happened to your ancestors, you know. But they would tell this story as if it happened to them. They expect sympathy while they are refusing to acknowledge somebody telling them their own life story, but they don't want to accept it just because you know it was done by black people. So that means majority of black people in America, they co-sign on this.
So let me ask you this. So you're saying that the black people in America, because it was 400 years ago, they cannot still have lingering effects from slavery.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that the story they were saying, stories that happened 400 years ago, I don't see how that has anything to do with someone today.
Well, maybe you weren't. Maybe you need to. You probably need to study more history.
No.
History.
Okay, let's just go by logic.
No, I
If
can't.
something
There's
happened
no
to
point.
you 400 years to somebody else,
Hmm.
your ancestor, so you don't
Let
think
me say this to you.
okay, let me say this, right? So do you think black people are the only people that were ever enslaved, even here in America?
No, but let me say this to you.
So how come?
Rockefeller.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute
Go
now.
ahead, man.
So because if we look at it, all the conditions that are ripe to make someone fail in America, they've laid it out, right?
Yep.
Okay. So even if you look at it during slavery and after slavery, even the people who were enslaved, they had families intact,
Yeah.
majority,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Even in reconstruction era,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
black people had their own
Yeah.
businesses. There were tons of black representatives in
Yes.
the
Yes.
right.
Yes.
So these black people were rising.
Yes.
So how come, right, people who were way far from slavery cannot even achieve quarter of that? How come, right? People who were
Somebody need to put their thing on mute, man. That's too much.
Yeah, I did. So what I'm saying is, right, there's a lot of things that happened along the way to
Right.
where we are today.
There's a
And
lot of
trust me,
systematic racism that happened.
yeah, but people are skipping a whole lot of history because I noticed people kept on the panel, they kept talking about 400 years, but no one is talking about, you know, when the black woman accepted, you know, hand in marriage to the government and kicked out the black man, and then you talked about the crack era, which is more recent. This brought, but the black woman getting married to the government,
Hmm.
that's done more damage because it disintegrated families.
It did.
I know
It did. It did.
it
It did.
disintegrated families.
Correct.
So it doesn't mean, like you're saying, I I know the history, but I'm not going around trying to tell black people about their own history. We are all here, we're seeing it. But what I'm saying to Africans is showing them the signs, the proofs that people don't respect them and the way they treat them. That's what I'm pointing out for
I
them to see it and stand up for themselves.
I don't get the correlation between Africans and you're saying Americans on the slave.
Okay, that's fine. You can just watch. You will eventually,
But
you
let me
know.
say this before I go, bro. Cause I'm actually getting into bed, and I'm sorry I'm not have my picture on there because I'm literally was about to go to sleep when I saw you. But what
All
I'm
right.
gonna say is this, man. I'm not here to uh, disagree with you. My only statement was I just don't like people saying Black Americans because I know what that puts in the mind of people. They look at every Black person the exact same way. That was my only comment to you, my brother. I really, all this other stuff is neither here nor there because I'm in America. I agree with you that we're no farther than we were in Reconstruction, and we should be, but there's systematic racism in place. But at the same time, I don't use it as an excuse in my life. I never have, I will not, and I just keep doing what I need to do in order to project my little piece of the pie forward. So, we can agree to disagree on that generality thing. But hey,
Right.
other than that, my brother, God bless you, man.
Hey, thanks for coming.
Yeah.
All right. Amani Abe, welcome to the show. Can you hear me?
Oh, hello. Can you hear me?
Yes. Where you
Oh,
calling from?
well, I'm actually calling from Japan. I live in
Japan.
Japan.
Yes.
Yes.
Welcome to the show. Are you
Yes.
black?
No, I'm not that. I don't align myself with social constructs to take me
No,
out of
but
the.
like
I am an American. I'm an American. I'm not a crayon box. That's what I want to kind of mention to you because you have to be careful what you say because there are Americans.
Wait. You didn't answer my question, and you're telling
No,
me
I
to be
did. I said I'm
careful.
not, I do not
Wait, wait. I
identify as that. No, I'm not that.
okay. Well, okay. Um, you're seeing me on the camera, right?
Yes.
Okay. What am I? If
Well, well,
somebody
first I'm going to ask you that. I'm going to
no,
ask you what is
uh,
your nationality because I don't
no,
know.
what's my skin color? You know,
No,
I'm talking.
I don't identify people by that.
So
Humans
you
are
are
not get. So my advice to you,
you're trans. Wait.
my advice to you is to let's get out of the crayon box and have a real grown up conversation.
So wait a minute. So you came on here, right? You wanted to have a conversation,
Yes.
but you are starting this conversation off by being dishonest to begin with. You don't want to
No.
have an actual conversation because you came on here. First of all, you're telling me, about all these social constructs when in reality, you are the one who do not want to stick by what is realistic. Are you ashamed of your skin color?
No. No. First of all, I don't know who you are. You don't know who I am.
I am
So
Afridamus.
no, no, no. What is your nationality?
Are you able to see me? Let's deal with the skin
No,
color
no, no, no,
first.
no, no, no. I need to know
Sir,
your nationality. Where
my
are you?
national I am an American citizen. I am an African American.
Okay, well, that's not specific enough for me because you have an accent. Obviously, you're either first generation.
So you're able to detect realistic things that you want to detect, but somehow you cannot see skin color.
Well,
Is
no,
that
no.
what you
I mean, why can't you tell me what your nationality is of your parents?
I
Are
just
you
told you?
ashamed of that? Are you ashamed of that?
So you cannot see me?
No, no, no. You still not answering. The continent of Africa.
Are you able to see me, sir?
No, the continent of Africa has over 54 nations. Which one are you?
Are you new here?
Well, this is my first time on your
Okay,
platform.
that's
Yes.
why you're new here. Okay, I do not go by the quote unquote social construct. I am from Africa. Originally, I was born there in Gambia from the black factory where they make black people prior to
Oh, okay.
America.
Well, okay.
So I just told you. So are you like are you black, Chinese,
Okay.
Japanese,
Now,
blackanese?
okay. So
Or
you're
what
Gambian.
skin color are you? Like if I see you on the street, right? Let's
You're
say,
Gambian.
huh?
You're Gambian, correct? You're Gambian.
This is correct. But Gambian have color, right?
Well, no. Well, I don't get into that, sir. I don't. I did not
Okay.
get into that.
Well, I think I'm gonna have to let you go because you don't want to have a real
Well, no,
conversation.
no. Well, why can't you respect? Why can't you?
You don't want to answer the question. If you don't want
No,
to
no,
have
no. Why
just
can't
tell
you have
me
a?
that.
No,
If you don't want to talk to me, just say that.
no.
But
I
don't
want to
tell me.
talk to you, but I want you
Okay.
to
So
let's get out of the crayon box and
no.
have a
Okay.
real
So I
conversation.
think
Expand your
I
mind.
think you're black. You guys, are you seeing
Expand your
this?
mind. No, no,
Are you
do not
guys seeing
think
this?
anything. Don't guess anything.
Are
That's
you
the
guys
problem
seeing
because
this?
you are a eugenicist when you do that.
Are you
Do
guys
not
seeing
practice
this?
eugenics. Do not practice eugenics with
Okay.
me.
Are you where you at? You are in Japan, right?
I told you that I am an American. That's what I am. But I live
You
in Japan. Yes.
live in Japan. Do
Yes.
you look like Shinzo Abe?
Now, no, no, let's have a conversation. I
Yes,
wanted to
we're having a conversation. Do you look like Shinzo Abe?
I told you that I'm an American, but I've been here in Japan
Will somebody
for 24 years.
do
I've
you
been here
look
for
like
24 years.
do you have the same skin color as LeBron James?
Well, no, I don't get into that. I don't get into that. Okay.
Okay. Well, I'll have to let you go. Thank you for coming. People, did you see this? Did you see this? He came on here, was supposed to have real conversation, and he's not having a conversation. He doesn't want to tell me if he's black, white, blue, or green. I really want to talk to this guy, but he's telling me about social constructs. This is what they did to the Africans on the shows. This is what they are doing. So this is what you do. When people come on your platform, you make sure you have real conversation. Don't let them get you off subject. He's telling me about social construct. Social construct also said there is no man or woman. They said one gender. Is that what you believe? Or they tell you there's 10,000 genders. That's what social construct can tell you as well. So when we talk about race, when it comes to white people, yeah, there is an identifier. These are white people, they are the racists, blah, 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 blah. But now, when it comes to, you talking to Africans, the moment the Africans are pointing out, all the misdeeds, now all of a sudden, oh, they are translucent. All of a sudden, everybody is now becoming an albino, colorless. What is going on here? These are the type of things I'm saying. Miss Kizzy. Miss Kizzy said, could I have had the conversation without? There's a reason why I asked him this question. Because this is what the conversation is centered around. And it's about American individual who happened to be black. They were on this platform and they were talking about their black plight that happened 400 years ago. One of them even said 600 years ago. So now, if I'm talking to somebody that called in and I cannot see this individual, I have to establish what type of person they are. Plain and simple. He's saying we are not crayons, we are American. You're on the look. We all know that's not how life works. We've all seen, you know, um, people running around talking about racism, and I'm sure he himself talks about racism. This is why he's talking about the crayon box. And I get this from black people in America quite a bit as well. They don't want to admit to their race. They don't want to admit to it, but this is just for conversational purposes. That's all. I'm not here to perform any eugenics. You are able to see me. Guys, look at what he wrote. He said, you are a foreigner who needs at least listen to something you have never heard. Yeah. Guys, you do realize um that's the same thing. Like one girl today, she said it. The same lady. They asked the question if she respect that I am an American. She said, she's like, well, not like a native, blah, blah, blah. The fact of the matter is, in America, the American Constitution, like I've repeated this here over and over again, and you are Africans, some of you that are even American citizens, you allow these people to come and tell you, oh no, you can say this because you're not American. You're an American taxpayer. If, like I have the right, the only right that I don't have here is to be president. You have to be born here. But I could easily go run for governor. I could move to places like Wyoming or, white areas and run for office and win. This could happen. But these are the type of conversations, just like Amani Bear is doing. This is what they were doing to the Africans on there. They totally derailed the conversation. They turned it entirely about Black Americans. They turned it into reparation. So let me get this straight. You want reparation from the US government. Why are you going to Africans to discuss that with Africans? Mind you, these are Africans who are not even in America. They've never been to America. I think it was just a couple of us that even live in America that were on that platform. But they told me, literally, they all were pissed They said I was being insensitive. I'm not caring about their plight. In the meantime, the Africans who came here as children or were born here were complaining about all the things you guys were doing to them, and you didn't care. You didn't want to hear it. Oh, they're like, oh no, anything they say, they have a rebuttal for it. Imagine, like an honest conversation, a white person having an honest conversation. You're saying, oh, you're saying, look, man, Mr. Black man, I never enslaved you. I don't owe you anything. That would be the honest response, but they would call it racist. Or saying, oh, this lynching happened, blah, blah, blah. That's even degrading the legacy of the people that it happened to. Because you're coming there talking about, oh, this is what happened to me, stealing other people's story, when this never happened to you. That's even throwing mud on somebody's legacy because you want to be phony. You want something free. You would go as low as, degrading the real victims' story, their legacy, what happened to them. You would degrade it. But then you want to be mad at me because I'm not listening to what you're saying. Isn't that something? Hey, guys, I'm gonna put up this comment, right? Look, I can't make this up. If he didn't write this, there's no way I would be able to make this up. The classical talking point, it always ends in this: he doesn't know American history. Have you noticed no one knows American history if you are not speaking the way they want you to speak? They would allow somebody who's never been to America to talk about it as long as he is saying what they want him or her to say. Then all of a sudden they know America. Oh, you're sympathetic. Oh my God, you know our story. And Africans are falling for it. He said it. He's like, oh, he doesn't know America. But if I was saying all the things he wanted me to say, oh, all of a sudden he would probably even call me Black Columbus. I couldn't make that up. You guys have heard this in the panel today if you were watching. The lady didn't want to respect that I'm an American citizen. She wanted to put stipulation around it. You think about it as an African. Do you honestly believe if the power was the other way around, you and I would be here? Let's be real. Come on now. Let's just keep it 100. You know the answer from just the responses we get. You guys know this. So that's why when they say unity, it's only few people that want the unity. Seriously. Whatever they say unity, there's nothing, like, no, we've never been together, but if you want to, become friends, get to know each other, we can start that. But to just say, oh, unity, and I ask, what are we united on? Nobody can ever answer that. They just say, oh, you spew hate. You are here to divide. Hey, Jesus was here to divide. He was here to divide the wheat from the chaff. You guys know this. See if they came on African panels and say Africans can't talk about American history. Exactly, Africa reacts. Exactly. They come on African panels and they say, you cannot talk about American history. This woman literally said, I do not have the right to speak on American issues. Someone asked her, said, but he's an American citizen. And he talked. She's like, well, he's not sensitive to us, blah, blah. Hey, have you ever heard of the First Amendment? I have First Amendment right too. But she literally said, I'm an African. What is that supposed to mean? This is how they see you. So when you, the African, you just giggling, going along and getting along, just pretending like it's all this kumbaya. When you want to bring the smoke to me, why don't you open your ear and listen to those who are degrading you? Plain and simple. Plain and simple. Like this Amani here, Amani Bay is an example. Clear example. He came on, he exhibited exactly what I was explaining here. You can't make this up. This man is all the way in Japan, in Asia. Mind you, he was saying that he lived there for years. But how come he exhibited the same character as Tangent? The same character as those people on the panel. The guy that was there crying about, you know, Black Wall Street. The one lady said she now pushed it to 50. Now it's no longer Oklahoma. They had 51 of them. So it's like, come on now. Lady, do you understand what you are saying here? Do you get what you are saying? I don't think these people are even listening. You come and say all these things. You exhibit weakness and you say all these things, but then when people call it for what it is, you're like, oh, how dare you call it for what it is? Nobody's putting a gun to your head to say these things. You're going all the way to take over African panels. Even they had a guy, African guy, Mr. Nice Guy. He calls himself Mr. Nice Guy. He comes on. When this guy came on, he started saying, yes, he agrees with some of the things I said. African, yeah. I thought we were black. Now I'm African. They switched up quick. Exactly. It changes up pretty quick. But Mr. Nice Guy, as usual, you guys know, I see this on African panels quite a bit, where an African like myself, I'll come on and speak some facts, truth, and they know that I'm speaking the truth. The black people on the panel, they lose it, they get triggered, they started getting all crazy. They don't know that I've had this conversation with rational blacks before. And there are black people that say this same thing. You know what they call those black people? Coons. Whatever that is. In fact, today on this show, somebody said Afridamus is the Gambian Uncle Ruckus. Because these people think they are going to call you name to shut you down. I think this is what most of the Africans on the panel are afraid of. Because they shut them down. Mr. Nice Guy agreed with me. He said, I agree with a lot of things Afridamus said. He said especially about Africans having weak mind. He's right. So he spoke on Africans. Honestly, he called, he was honest. But when it came to the black part, he's like, I cannot agree with him on the blacks. He just vaguely said it. He didn't go into detail. This is what they do. He's like, no. I disagree with him. I totally disagree with him. But he didn't say what he disagreed with me on. All I said, which they flipped it and said I was insulting them. They said I was insulting them. But nobody can say what insult I have said. Because I said that, I don't see the businesses that majority black people came up with, and Africans are looking to get employed in these businesses. That's what I said. If I was lying, All they have to do is come and say, "Oh, no, 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 Afridamus, you had it wrong," and show me proofs. But I'm here in America. I'm even watching TV. I read newspaper. I see people who are quote unquote prominent blacks, supposed to be prominent. You find out they are employed by somebody else. They would fire them and they cry on TV. We've all seen that here. So I'm looking around, I'm all the businesses are, it's owned by different people. So me saying this, I'm not saying it as a diss, because for our people to see what is going on, you have to point out things. But you see, Mr. Nice Guy didn't talk about that part. He just, as usual, like the people say, they're like, "Oh, I agree with him half the time, not all the time." Look, Africans, if you agree with me, don't be afraid to say you agree with me. What are you afraid of? St. James, I dropped the link. You can hit that. BYB Entertainment. Respect the motherland. Wrong. We don't hate Africans. Don't act like Africans like Black Americans. I even heard Nigerians come directly out their mouth that their parents tell them to stay away from African Americans. Of course, why wouldn't they tell them to stay away? Do you see the type of behavior most African Americans or Black Americans exhibit? Do you not see that? People have eyes, okay? People have eyes. We see what is happening. Do you think if those children, the Black children, they're telling them to stay away from, do you honestly believe they're saying stay away from them because they are Black? You and I both know that's not why. We know this. We know it has everything to do with character. It has absolutely everything to do with character. Me myself that you're talking to, I'm raising a child. If you must know. So I know. So parents who love their children, who want what's best for their children, their job is to protect their kids by any means necessary. I don't care who wants to shame you or not. You take care of your own kids. Let me take care of my own kids. And I applaud African parents who have the common sense, and don't pander or allow other people to shame them to say, "Oh, you're dividing." No, 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 no. No. If I see a child behaving a certain way, groups of them behaving a certain way, they're coming from certain background, they are not being held accountable. And this is not how I raise my child. What do you expect me to do? For instance, me, I don't even allow the teachers, like I said, the teachers, even certain assignments with all this mess thing with you guys, is this racist thing and the sex stuff that they do. I'm totally exempt from all that. We don't do that in our house. So if I'm Xing out the white people, what do you think, some kids running the street, what do you think I would do? I don't blame the Nigerian parents. I don't blame them. Seriously. Maybe you can take a page from their book. If a lot of people act like those Nigerian parents, that will not happen. Beyonce is it there? Immigrants, do you want them to get deported? Look, he doesn't care. He wants, because I even heard they say, "Oh, when they always come on the internet, they say this to, like I said, Africans that live outside of Africa in Europe. They're like, "Oh, when Amadou Diallo from Guinea got shot, we marched for him." So, okay, this happened in New York, right? So you matched. Did that bring him back? That didn't bring him back. Yeah, okay, fine. You went in the street. That's fine and dandy. But now let's look at how many Africans have been sent in body bags from America to Africa, back to their native country. Let's look at who killed them. Yes, fine. The white cop shot one immigrant back in the 90s. Okay, that happened. It's a horrible thing. But now, what's that have to do with me, to be honest? What does that have to do with me? Oh, you, the person that is telling me about it. The guy is dead. You know, it is what it is. We're all going to die someday. So we cannot just, keep fixating on these things that do not make any sense. Yeah, one cop shot Amadou Diallo, but let's look at, I can name tons of people. Not only give you numbers, I can name them, even just from our small country in Gambia, who were killed literally by Black Americans. Literally killed them and senselessly. A couple of them, Chicago, Alabama. These are all happening in Black areas, by the way. So when I generalize things, I'm not, people that have sense. No, I'm not saying this is all Black people. Even Black people that have sense, even if they're from the hood, whatever they call it, when they can afford it, they leave the area. They go to a better area. I don't blame those people either. So I want African people, for you to know this. You don't have to feel like you have to pander to someone because they're trying to shame you. Or the best line is, oh, you all sold us into slavery. And silly Africans go for it. You've never sold a human. This person has never been sold. They were born in New York, Atlanta, wherever, in a first world country. First world country, African. I want you to listen to this carefully. First world country, America. Even in your worst ghettos, they have steady electricity, food, car. They can afford things. You are from a place where the electricity is unstable most of the time, no running water. You overcome all that. Overcome all that. And then the person who already had a leg up on you is telling you that they are the victim. You should feel sorry for them. Your problems and their problems are completely different. You have to remember, at the end of the day, when they get mad at you, they remind you that they are American. Did you see the two that came here? They let us know that they are American because that's the truth. Okay? The card is just a manipulation. Did America have a bad past where laws were made against Black people? Yes, this has happened. I'm not naive. I'm not stupid to say that didn't happen. It used to be, even in places, some areas, Black people are not allowed to buy property there. I know about all this. I'm not saying this never happened, but that affected the people who went through that, who lived through that. Like, I have witnessed civil war. I have seen stuff in Africa, but I'm not all of a sudden, like, imagine my son taking that on, pretending like, he's traumatized by that. How about you use your story, even if you say it's something that's supposed to break you. A human being, we're here to endure and overcome. The greater story is to overcome and show other people how you did it. But you see, us Africans, even our overcoming story is not welcome, because someone who says they are Black American is offended by your story. Is offended by your story. The Edos lady told you she doesn't even want to hear an African speaking good about America. They want to shut you down. They want to shut your freedom of speech. This is why they are telling you you don't know American history. So, do we always have to talk about for 400 years ago? You notice it's about 400 years ago. They want to talk about that, but they don't want to talk about right now, the times that we are living in, you and I. They don't want to talk about that. And this is not all. This is not all. There is, I want to make that clear too. Not all, but most. But most exhibit this. And two of our callers here have proven that exact point. And the beef that's between Africans too. Like I said, this is Freestyle Monday. We talk about everything. I notice there is this underlying beef on YouTube too amongst Africans. You see, any energy that is out there present in the physical, when we come on YouTube, it would be shown too. There are some who come, they bring their baggage, they have so much ammunition and fire for their fellow African. And it's never anything good. It's never anything that makes sense. That's right, St. James. Even in Africa. This is why like when they say this, it makes me laugh when they say, oh, the African parents tell their kids not to hang out with our kids or Black kids. I don't think they're saying Black kids, but they're pointing at specific kids. Even in Africa, our parents tell us don't hang out with hoodlums. So what is that all about? They just want our best interest, that's all. A parent's job is to protect their child. If you understand things, you would not fail your kids. Africans act like they aren't killing each other in America. You guys, oh, EYB Entertainment. I dropped the link. I want you to come here, please, and tell us this story of how African immigrants are killing each other in America. We're waiting. Please come on here and humor me. It's not even a fact that all Africans participated in slavery. Few African traders connived with the traders. Majority of Africans fought back, even though they weren't a match for the traders. Exactly. No, but you see, Mohammed, the story in America, when you come in contact with most Blacks, especially they have the quote unquote Pan-Africanists, and you have some who, it's just a natural hatred for against anyone. Because see, when people have hate in their heart, this hate is not limited, because this hate is not only directed at us. Don't fool yourself. The same hate is what's directed to white people, Chinese, and other people. It's the same thing. Because when you are angry and you have hatred, you have to always outsource your problems. You have to point fingers at external forces. Even look at Mr. Go Black, who usually present himself as a Christian, as a wise man. Just think about what he said to me. He had to perpetrate the victimhood, or for them to prove to you, oh, this for them to feel right, they have to wish something terrible upon you or your family. Plain and simple. See, Africa reacts. They claim that white man gives Africans the bank loans and not us. Also, the police don't bother Africans; they bother us. That's why Africans. Exactly. Yeah, I heard that today. It they said they give back bank loans to Africans. No, that's not true. That is absolutely not true. Yeah, if the African got good credit, of course, they'll give you the loan. But if you don't, it is what it is. Plain and simple. Nobody is giving any African loan. I've heard that before. They said, "Oh, the Africans are treated favorably." Think about it. Doesn't think about how that totally debunks the color the color argument. Think about how that debunks that. Let's see this. The biggest slave trading company was comprised of a white male, a black female, and their mixed progeny, the Shabro tribe. Objective one. Yeah, objective one. I know the Shabro. Are you talking about Shabro Island in Sierra Leone? I mean, yeah, you're right. There were Africans that participated in it. You see, even you were able to only name, you said, a white male, a black female. Even in Ghana, in Anamabo at the time back in the 18th century, the biggest slave trader there, the white guy, his name was Richard Brew. His wife was was a Ghanaian woman, Ifwa Answer at the time. So yeah, Muhammad is right. It's not a whole bunch of people. It was few traders who became elites who were profiting from that. Oh, objective. Yeah, objective one. I know Shabro Island. I used to live in Sierra Leone. I know about Shabro Island, not the place itself, but it was a long time ago. I was a kid. But yeah, you're right. The they claim white people give us the loans and stuff, but I'm here to tell you this is not true. These things that you say they give to Africans, this is absolutely not true, man. Like, man, if you're an immigrant, black people, I want you to know this. Man, you're not getting that much love. Think about it. If you are saying that you are picked on your profile because of your skin color, imagine I have the same skin color as you, but I have to learn the language, I have to learn the culture to assimilate. Imagine before all that happened, how much, that's really difficult in a foreign land. You don't take that into account. Yeah, FBA Niger, I did live there in the early parts of it. I witnessed a lot of that over there in Sierra Leone. So you see, I could be talking about the trauma. This didn't happen to my grandpa or great grandpa. Myself, I witnessed it. But for me, when you go through things that people call trauma, people, you have to always rise up like a phoenix. You see, every day that you are 6 feet above ground is another opportunity given to you to manifest who you are. Plain and simple. And no one can do that for you. Only you can do that for you. People that ask question like earlier today in the other panel, they say, "Oh, Afridamus, if," like they said dumb things like, "Oh, Afridamus, if Gambia is so great, why isn't Afridamus over there?" Even though I explained to people like, do you think Gambia is the only country I've ever lived in? It's not the first country I've ever lived in. I've been traveling since I was 3 years old, if you must know. It's not the first place I've lived in. So, the earth is wide open to all of us. You can go wherever you want. If you can get the opportunity there, fine. But if you want to learn about traveling. You have to take the time and learn. Plain and simple. You cannot just force your way in. Especially, you cannot tell the natives about their own culture or about their own country. That is just recipe for failure. You're setting yourself up for failure. Plain and simple. Because if you go in somewhere that you don't know about at all, but you listen to somebody on the internet, this is why many people were getting scammed. That's another completely different topic too, where people were getting scammed. I only see this in black people, right? Where, fine, I get it. There's no snitch culture between the people that are street hustlers, street thugs, whatever. They have this thing between, code amongst each other, no snitching. I get that. That's that's the life they live, that's the rules they go by. But what about the civilians, people who are not part of that life? This would be the people that gave their money to people that scam them. But when you say it, you would see they say, "Oh, you're just hating on these people." So you mean to tell me we shouldn't talk about this, we should just let people scam people? They are like, "Oh, you're just jealous, you are a hater." But same people would come back and cry. Let's see. Afridamus, could you explain the context of consistent travel and was your father a diplomat? FBA is trying to find out. No, my father was a businessman. My father was a businessman. He was in a diplomat. It's sad Africans let and allow Black Americans to get on the panels and derail the conversation. Let me go try and enter on the ADOS panel. And look, Africa React, they will not even allow you to talk. Okay? They will look, I've seen panels. I'm talking Black American panels where they would be talking about, literally, they said Africans should worship Black Americans. Literally. They said we should get on our knees and worship them like our gods. I heard this on the internet. Hey, check this out. You would think Africans would be pissed, right? Some Africans get on the phone, they call. They want to belong so bad. They co-sign on it, and on their way out, they're like, be one. Because that's what they are taught. So, to me, if that's what they want, that's fine. See, bro, Afridamus, most of the African Americans who have traveled and who are educated are mostly open-minded, cool, and very tolerant. But beware of the one who have never. Oh yes, no, you're absolutely right. Yeah, I mean, I don't want people to think that it's all Black people this way, man. There's tons of cool Black people in America that you will meet, but this bunch here, this bunch are the ones ruining it for all of them, and they are the ones that, as of late, have been coming much more in contact with Africans. This is why we're addressing it. The cool collective ones, you would never have any issues with them. So I don't want people to mistake it and think it's every Black American. No, no, there are cool ones. Even in these panels, you see it. There are many who are embarrassed by what some of these people, I call them the useful idiots, come and exhibit. It's not everybody that is co-signing on this, but it doesn't mean we're not going to talk about it. Just because not everyone is co-signing it, we'll still talk about it. it's crazy and makes me sick to see some people questioning Africans traveling. Exactly, Motlamin. You're absolutely correct. Yeah, even quote unquote diners, who calls himself a prince, like this man had the audacity to question why people who are born in Africa, he called it running away from Africa. You notice with us Africans, they always associate running away from Africa with us. It's never that, we just wanted to travel just like anyone else. We bought our ticket, like it's not that. Not all of us are, are from, you know, war zones. Not all of us are refugees. You know, even though like I've experienced refugee life a little bit actually. I've stood in those lines, the refugee lines. So for some people that would come and say, "Oh, Afridamus made fun of refugees," no, Afridamus himself experienced it. So I'm talking about myself here. Afridamus Africans would have no problem getting on Pan African platforms. Trust me, they African American, but they will actually give Africans mad love. IB entertainment. You know what? I don't know, man. If I see it, I'll believe it. But what I've seen so far, that's not what it's been. The Africans that go on those panels, if they speak the truth, they dare speak like me, they would shut them down quick. So, but over here, you look at it. You can come here, and tell me, talk about whatever, as long as you stick with the story. We have an honest conversation without, dilly dallying, taking me through roller coasters, through hoops. We don't need that. We're trying to have real conversation. Let's see, FBA Nigel. Afridamus, have you ever had of a Black American cuisine? If so, oh yeah, oh man, FBA Nigel, yeah, man. My ex-wife was Black, Black American. Yeah. Um, I had plenty of cuisines, man. I like collard greens, grits. I love me some great soul food. Catfish. Um, I mean, on Thanksgiving we used to do fried turkey. Um, yeah. Oh, I mean, like I lived the Black life. See, that's what's funny when people come. They're like, "Oh, Afridamus doesn't know about Black people." That's because they're not even asking me my story. They don't know that even my family members that live here back in the days, when they see like Black people out and about, they always say to me, "Hey, Afridamus, there goes your people," because I'm the one that used to see eye to eye with them. Let's see here. Afridamus, your ex-wife was Black American. Yeah, yeah, she from South Carolina. Yeah, she was from South Carolina. Super crazy too, but that would be a whole different topic, okay? A whole different topic. Because when I get into that, I think many of you would have fun with that, and you would relate to the story. But nothing too crazy to where like you no longer talk. No, we're even friends, and I mean sometimes. Sometimes. It depends on what I say. Yeah. FBS said, wow, them Galagichis. Hey, I keep it, 100. Because like I said, we gotta have the conversation, before people start saying, oh no, you don't know what you're talking about. I know this, like for Africans, all they have to do is speak, with honesty, plain and simple. Speak with honesty. When people see you speaking with honesty, they don't have to like it, but they'll respect it. At least, you know, there are people out there who would rather hear the truth. Because if you remember, like even here in America, they, everybody pretends like these politicians saying they want to protect black people and other people against quote unquote white supremacists. They control their opponent's speech, pretending that they are protecting black people, but it's really not true. So, I see things like that. So the same thing is happening for Africans. Black people themselves, some of them are even appointing themselves, speaking for Africans, like right in front of the Africans themselves. I can see if you know what you're talking about, but if you don't know what you're talking about and you don't want me to check, to ask you, and people, you guys see it. My questions are not tough questions. They are nice and easy questions that people can easily take on. But you see, when I ask questions on these panels, people get triggered. It's like I said a bad word. They get triggered. They call me troublemaker, all kinds of names. But in the meantime, you see the other Africans, they want you on the panel. They are cool with you because they know you lying to them and they are lying to you. The day you make the mistake and you speak like me, it's over. Lion King, I think black Americans traveling to Africa would help them a lot. I agree with that. Yeah, I agree with it. This is true. I think it would help them too. You can't even debate with someone who already classified you as dumb because you have an accent. Exactly, Muhammad. You know, um, yeah, because you notice the guy that came on here, somehow he doesn't know if he's black, white, peach, or whatever, but he was able to tell me that I have an accent. He was able to detect my accent. He can see me on camera, but he can't tell if I'm black, white, blue, or green. That's how dishonest he was. Let's see. FB and Nigel have a question. Afridamus, do you think black Americans specifically went to war with today's West Africa long ago, and that's why we can't get on code with y'all? Um, no, no. I don't think there was like anything specific to say there was this division between two groups. Like in some areas, because let's say to sell another human into slavery, it has to be done through war. Like some parts of Africa that like they captured people, the people they were capturing in these wars, like between two kingdoms or whatever, they would sell the people they captured, to the Arabs, because the Arabs were the first ones to start selling Africans out of Africa. But I don't think, like how some people try to put it, to say it was this group versus this group. Nah, it might have started with the wars and stuff, but eventually, as the people start seeing money in it and more people became corrupted, the lines were crossed. Many, as you know, people, there were many who entered into the human trade, who would kidnap, children, young, weak people, or they would go to like remote villages, weaker villages, you know, capture the people. Because the people that live around the coast, they weren't the ones they were selling generally, because it takes months for the ships to arrive. So you have to keep these people there. So if the person is from that area, then it will be hard for you to keep them because they know the area. So they would bring slaves, people that they would eventually sell it into slavery. They would bring them from distance, from inland. Like if you look at Gambia is a port area where they shipped people, but a lot of actual slaves, you know, that they shipped through there, they would bring them from like way in the interior, maybe somewhere in the interior of Senegal, or all the way from Mali, because Mali is a landlocked country. So they would bring them from all the way there into, into the place, called Gambia, and ship them. And they would also capture the people from, even in that same country itself, Gambia there, and sell them. So yeah, there is no, I wouldn't, there wasn't, I never heard anything about to say there's this difference between two groups. Like I heard some Hebrew Israelites was saying, they try to say the Africans sold them because they are Hebrews. And I asked them, I said, well, how were the Africans able to differentiate? According to them, they came from Israel, to West to Africa, according to them. So the Africans and the white people conspired against them and sold them into slavery. But there was slavery, the trans-Saharan slavery, 500 years prior to that, you know, before the Atlantic slave trade. This is before the white people came. The Arabs were the ones in the game. They're still in the game, you see? So, and even prior to that, nobody honestly knows, especially like that Senegambia region. Nobody knows how long, slavery was there, because there was slavery 500 years prior to the Arabs coming there. It continued 500 years more. White people came, it continued 500 years, some more again. So for over 1,000 years, pretty much, it was ongoing. Nobody knows how long it's been there. It's just embedded. But I believe, I truly believe that if black people in America, the ones that are willing to have genuine conversation, they are sincere, they want to know. Because some of them, it's people that have ego on those panels say, oh, you guys want to give us rules. Nobody's giving you any rules. People are just saying, you came to a platform. Don't try to shame other people into agreeing with your point of view. To get honest conversation, it's okay for people to disagree. Maybe if the person is not seeing things your way, hear them out, have a conversation, but don't just shut them down, and tell them, pretty much saying, shut up. You should just go along with what I'm doing. Oh man, it's 10:25. Oh, okay. This is Africa. Thank you for sticking around. Actually, I'm about to close it down. Um, it's a late broadcast, but people, thank you for coming. Like and share the video. If you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe, or you can put the thumbs down. Yeah, the conversation is not always gonna be pleasant for some people, because as you guys know, I touch on a whole lot of different topics, and it doesn't mean that like, because some people in their mind they would take it like, this individual is being malicious, he's being rude. Think about it. Why would I waste my time and effort just to come online to ridicule people? I have better things to do in my life than that. But the reason why I'm doing it, I'm seeing a negative trajectory that people are embarking on. And a lot of black people are not addressing these crazy people that are putting a dent in the relationship that you're trying to build with with other people, because they are out there, you know, they are hijacking not just their own story. They are telling your story too. They are saying their story is your story and every other black person's story. So you could see why it is always generalized, because we are not seeing other black people coming and telling these people that, look, hey, wait a minute now. Come on, you're wrong for this. You know, you shouldn't be talking this way. You shouldn't be doing X, Y, and Z. Because you guys have seen me. I call Africans all the time. You know, I call them out on things that I don't think make sense. And you guys see, you know, a lot of the guys, they're not upset. They're just like, all right. And because it's not to put each other down, it's about understanding, it's about learning, it's about, you know, letting go of the ego. The ego is the poison. You guys saw the caller that came here. He had so much ego, you know. He wouldn't even allow that to go for a second. But yet he wanted to tell me, oh, you don't know African American history. Oh no, he said American history. So I can assure you, if they give this man that told me I don't know American history, if they give him the same citizen test that they gave me, because you know, to be a citizen, they give you this booklet, you read it. If they give that test to most Americans, they would fail. They would fail it. So the people that become citizen, they earn it 100%. You go through a test. So when you come telling that person, oh, you don't know American history, you're fooling yourself. People are not sitting there talking about 1800s. People want to talk about now because it's what applies to their lives. It doesn't mean that people are saying you cannot talk about the past. You can talk about it as a reference point, you know, a reference point. But to make it seem like your entire life is governed by that, you know, that to me, you are the one holding on to something, trying to make it bigger, and you're not even, because if you say something that's terrible, you're not even trying to overcome it to prove that you're strong. But the people that actually went through it, I mean, people that were born in slavery, you know, people like Booker T. Washington, you know, go read his story. Frederick Douglass, these men were born, I mean, in slavery themselves, in slavery, belonging to another human. They overcame. Both men taught themselves and became prominent men. He built the Tuskegee Institute, and that was at one time a very strong, powerful black institute, but not anymore. So this is the type of things people want to know. How did this all fall apart? But then you got people who have no vision. They are talking about, we want reparation. We want you to support me in this reparation cause. And you have even, you know, some Africans too, because this one woman says she was born in Africa. She came to America when she was 3. Now she's also claiming reparation. She's claiming reparation. So the story is getting muddy every day. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you have a wonderful evening, night, morning, or wherever you are. Happy companion. Thank you for coming in. St. James, Supergirl, Lion King. This is Africa Entertainment B, and all those I haven't mentioned here. You're all welcome. Thank you.
Well, none of them can hide from the truth, yeah. Children have to go back to the roots, yeah. None of them can hide from the truth, yeah. Children have to go back to the roots. I'm telling you now, the truth, telling you, yeah, the truth, the truth. You have to go back to the roots, go to the roots, to the roots. Yeah, man, you know, this is Benjamin out of the Smiling Coast, West Africa, Gambia, representing for the one and only Abu, the big man you don't know, the Soninke warrior, the man that brings the truth, Soninke warrior, the sign of enlightenment, the Soninke warrior, the righteous and the true African. Abu, reveal the truth to them, you know, no matter how them try run from it, because none of them can hide from the truth, yeah. Yes, we have to dig back the roots, yeah. Fire!